Is there one person in Washington who you can really trust, a journalist who is accurate and fair and nonpartisan and insightful and probing? Yeah, there is one. Only one. Bob Woodward. He went from uncovering Watergate in the Nixon administration to writing penetrating, insightful books that were embarrassing at the time to every subsequent president. And yet, despite the fact that the administrations always huffed and puffed about how terrible Woodward was, they couldn't prove anything wrong. And he's constantly getting the inside scoop and constantly getting it right. So now when the White House is going after Woodward over the sequester issue, it really shows a real breakage between Obama and the heretofore docile Washington press corps. What happened was that Obama was running around the United States attacking the sequester, saying that these automatic budget cuts were because Republicans had refused to agree to moderate spending cuts and to revenue increases. And Woodward came out and said, hey, wait a minute. I wrote in my book that sequester was Obama's idea and that Obama proposed it to resolve the debt limit fight in August of 2011. And the White House went crazy. And Gene Sperling, the economic advisor, who is a real doctrinaire liberal if there ever was one, came out and yelled at Woodward and screamed and hollered and then called back allegedly to apologize for his volume and tone of voice. But in the email of apology, he said, I think you will regret having staked out this position. That's a threat in anybody's vocabulary. That says we're going to punish you for what you're doing. And it really is a shocking fight between Obama and the press corps. But what lies behind it is a consistent effort by Obama to obfuscate stuff in the press corps and to try to sell them on things that aren't true. The most significant one was the Benghazi attack, where for 2 weeks he had the Washington press corps running around linking the attack to the movie as opposed to a terrorist attack. And now on sequester, he's busy trying to get them to see sequester as a Republican policy, not as something that he himself invented. But it gets even more pernicious than this. This is not just a question of President Obama dissing a major member of the Washington press corps. Obama has his own state media. It's like Radio Obama, like Radio Moscow or Radio Free Obama. And it's his own propaganda outlet, the social media. With his tweeting and his Facebook stuff and his emails, he's really sending an alternative news source to his supporters. It's something reminiscent of the communist propaganda days. And at that point, he's basically bypassing the media and talking directly to the voters. He used to do that in frequent, in fact, nauseatingly frequent, addresses to the country. Now he's moderated that because when he speaks to the country, the next day the news media talks about the inaccuracies in his speech. So now he's trying to bypass it all with his social media communications. Now, America's media is liberally biased. American reporters tend to vote Democrat in overwhelming numbers. I would guess that Obama probably carried 90% of them and Romney about 10% of them. But they also don't like being had, and they don't like being conned, and they don't like being yelled at. And when you're calling out the senior Washington correspondent of the leading Washington media organ, the Washington Post, and a figure as legendary as Bob Woodward, there's trouble coming. Trouble for Obama. Thanks for watching.